Okay, can y'all hear me? I am back. Sound, can we hear it? Am I on? Can y'all hear me? Okay, we got sound, right? We got sound? Can y'all hear me? Yay! Okay, good to go. Happy New Year for the third time. Ha! Happy New Year to you guys. Happy New Year. We made it to 2023. Happy New Year. This is the first Views from SwagHer Tower for the year. I took the whole month of December off because I spent 2/3 of December in Texas, and there was like no way I would have had time. So, how are y'all? I missed you guys. I missed you guys a lot. Like how's the new year treating y'all? Like, I hope y'all are sticking to your New Year's resolution. I know people don't do that as much as they used to, but I know there are still New Year's resolution people. So are y'all still sticking to your New Year's resolution? Do you have your accountability partner? So like for real, because 2023 is popping. Like, y'all don't feel it? It is the Jordan year. Everybody about to be soaring. Like, yes, this is the Jordan year, y'all. Yes. Okay. So we have a very good show coming up tonight. We have Brandee J and Lynda Star. And we are going to jump right in because Lynda is here. Y'all. Come on. All right.
Hi,
Hi. Hi. Hey. Hey.
and Happy New Year. I hope we're still saying it, but Happy New Year.
I know, right? I know. I try to stop saying it after January because after January we're kind of like in, but all the month of January I normally say it because it's
Okay.
normally still. But
Okay.
yeah. So and plus this is like the first show for the year for me, so it's Happy New Year.
Yay, Happy New Year. Yeah, my birthday is the 3rd, so I noticed people tend to stop saying Happy New Year like after like the 6th, but I'm like, it's my birthday month, so Happy New Year all month.
Oh wow! Oh no! I say because it's still new. Like it ain't even 30 days old. Like
Exactly,
still
exactly.
new. So how are
I
you?
I am doing really, really well. I feel blessed. I'm just happy to be here. I know you mentioned some people like having like New Year's resolutions, but for
Mm-hmm.
me, instead of having New Year's resolutions, I set like goals, like
Mm-hmm.
New Year's goals. So that way it's like, oh, if I want to, for example, like lose 10 pounds by like next week, like just having like tangible goals. So that way, I can have that accountability for the entire year. And even if I don't get it accomplished, this year, we still have the next year and the year after that. So
Right. Right. Okay, so we're going to jump right in. So you ready?
yes, I am ready.
Okay, because I'm ready for you, girl. How is the view from where you were sitting?
So I would say the view from where I'm sitting is very lovely. I see prosperity. I see growth. I see a lot of growth, especially from when I first started. But I also, I see how far I've come, and still how far I have to go.
Mm, mm, I know that's right, girl. So introduce yourself to the views audience. Let everybody know who you are and what you stand for and how you get down.
All right. So, hey world, it's your girl Lynda Star. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I am a vocalist, a songwriter, an all-around entertainer. I would say right now I'm also a content creator. I feel like, especially being an artist these days, it's like
Yeah.
it's default now.
Yes.
I would definitely say music is an expression of life for me. It's literally gotten me through my darkest and toughest times. And I believe that I was put on this earth to serve. And I was put on this earth to be used as a vessel to use my gift for music to help others and to heal others.
Mm, mm. That's kind of strong. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you about that question, about that answer.
Okay.
Okay, so what about your music makes you feel like your music is made to help and heal people?
So the way that I know internally my music my music is able to heal and help others is just through my experiences. I've been singing since I was 3. I've been writing songs since I was 8. So I started singing like in the church, like every other singer, but it was different because people would literally come up to me and say like, oh my gosh, like, you know, like my heart is racing like after you sang, or like I got chills, I got goosebumps, or like after hearing that song. Like, I remember in high school, you know, we had talent shows and things like that, and I remember for one of the shows, I sang Celine Dion's Because You Love Me, and someone in the audience was just like, oh my gosh, like I literally broke down in tears. And
Celine Dion,
yeah,
child.
I love Celine Dion. I'm literally keeping her in my prayers because I know, like, I heard that
Yeah, I
news.
heard about her too.
So devastating. But it was in that moment. There was so many other moments too. Like, for example, my grandmother passed away my senior year of high school, and the same day she passed away was the day that we had a winter concert, and we sang "Oh Holy Night," and I had the solo that day. And when I tell you, I literally like felt my grandmother's presence, and I just gave it literally my all. Like it was a moment where I can't even remember like how how I felt, but all I knew is that my mom, my grandmother was in the midst, and literally I got a standing ovation, and people were literally like, everyone was just in tears because they felt the emotion, they felt literally everything that I was going, like the grief, the sadness, like everything, like in that moment, like all wrapped into one, everyone felt. So I definitely feel that with music, whatever I sing, whether it's original music or like songs that I perform, like I put my heart and soul into it. So that's how I'm able to help others be able to heal through their own journeys.
How does that make you feel, like seeing people and hearing like your impact on them?
I would say sometimes it's like overwhelming because, you know, I always like remain humble. Like I realize like this gift is not my own, like this life is not my own. So it's like I'm just doing it for literally for God's glory. And whenever I hear that, like whenever people like come up to me and tell me like how like my voice has like changed their lives, literally, like it just warms my heart so much.
Yeah, I bet. You know, it's one thing that I heard, and I only heard this recently, and I feel like it has shifted how I think about gifts. Because I'm late on a lot of stuff, so it might have been something that you've heard before, but it's gifts are meant for others. They're not meant for you. So what gift you have isn't for you to keep or to hoard or to not let anybody know about it. A gift is always meant to be given. So it's whatever you do, you have to find some kind of way in service to give it to other people. So it's kind of you saying that about your gift or whatever, and you seeing it and you seeing how it's impacting people. You know, you have to know that it's not for you.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's powerful. It's just knowing that, you know, you're here to serve. Like we're all here to serve, no matter whether we do music, whether we're in healthcare, whether, you know, we have our own business. Like we're literally meant to serve. And it's up to us to discover like what our purpose is and like how we can use our gifts to serve. But no matter what, like you were like everybody in this room, just know like you have a purpose and you have, you know, a reason to do what you do.
Yep, that's very true. Okay, so moving on, you are the winner of the 2022 Essence Festival New and Next Artist Competition. Tell us about that. So how did you end up trying out? What song did you sing? And how did you feel once you were declared the winner?
Yeah, so I released the video for my song Save Us, the live session. So that was like the 5-year anniversary of the release of my debut single. And that same Friday, I remember it was very vividly, it was a Friday night, and I had just did like a YouTube premiere of my video. And literally one of my good friends, Paulana, she's the founder of Black People Will Swim, And she literally sent me the link. She was just like, girl, like submit to this. And I was just like, what? So I literally clicked on the link, and literally that same day was the last day. It was literally like the deadline.
Oh.
So I had to like submit my video like ASAP. I remember that I think the time limit was 3 minutes and my video was 4 minutes. So I literally had to like go into my computer and like like narrow it down, like wherever it stopped. I was like, it's 3 minutes, so I'm gonna just send it. And literally 2 days later, I got an email from the Essence team saying, you know, we loved your work. You know, you're chosen as one of the finalists. So I was chosen as one of the 3 finalists to perform for the new and next artist competition. And everything just happened so fast. Literally, I had to like book my flight and get lodging, but everything worked out the way that it was intended to, because a few weeks before that, I actually performed at the Apollo. So literally, like, that experience prepared me for that moment. And I also submitted the video for Save Us. And when I sang that song and when I got on that stage, it was something inside of me that was just like, I deserve to be here. Like, I'm meant to be on this stage. Like, no matter what happens, I told myself, no matter what happens, whether I win or whatever, like, I'm here. Like, I'm literally here, like, in front of new, fresh ears who have never even seen my face before. So just own it, just own that moment. And that's exactly what I did. And I performed in front of the judges. Roxy introduced me, which was also a full circle moment, having watched, you know, 106 in Park, you know, all throughout high school, even like sneaking after school just to go and be in the audience. And here she is, you know, like introducing me like as an artist, performing my own original song, you know. So it was a monumental for me. And then having, you know, the judges in the music industry, especially the Brat, commenting on my song and just like expressing like how moved she was by it. And then literally when they said my name, I was just like, I was just like, what? Like, it literally like felt like a dream. And I was just at a loss for words, but it was definitely an out-of-body experience that I'm extremely grateful for. The grand prize was returning back to this year's Essence Festival 2023. So I will be at the Super Lounge at the Superdome. So I'm really, really excited and grateful for that.
Good for you.
Thank you.
That's dope. 2 in a row. Okay. I ain't mad at you. Okay, so tell us about your single Save Us. Did you write the song, and could you interpret a few lyrics if you don't mind?
Yeah, absolutely. So I wrote Save Us originally in 2014. So that was around the time where the girls were kidnapped by Boko Haram, which was like a terrorist organization. And literally, long story short, there was a huge group of women, like young women and girls, who were kidnapped, and they were just taken advantage of, you know, at their own will. And literally, it was just so devastating, like reading all of the news articles and just seeing it all over, you know, ABC, CNN, like all over the news. And one day I was sleeping, like while I was sleeping, like around 2-3 a.m., like I heard a woman's voice, like just like shouting, like crying out and shouting. And I literally like grabbed a pen and paper and just like wrote all, like everything that she was saying, like just writing everything down. And it just felt like both what she was saying and also the melody, it just like was woven together just so quickly in that moment. And that's literally how I wrote Save Us. And, you know, some of the lyrics is like, I've been ridiculed and lied to. Every day I'm petrified to know if I will be alive to see the rest of my life. So essentially it's a testimony to what those women were feeling in that moment. And I wanted to be able to be a voice for the voiceless and literally, you know, tell their story, you know, through my own lens. And so I recorded Save Us literally like in my room. I sent over the vocals to an engineer. My good friend Chris Hunt, he took the skeleton production of what I had in my head and just like took it to another level. And I put it out as my debut single in 2017. And 5 years later, you know, I've just seen the evolution and the growth. And the reason why I wanted to celebrate Save Us for the 5-year anniversary, because I wanted to give Save Us new life, especially because when I wrote it, I knew that it was the type of song that would stand the test of time.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't just like a, you know, like here and, you know, here today, gone tomorrow. It was literally a message that resonates with people. Like every time I performed it somewhere, every time I like sang it, like people would just be so moved, and that's why I wanted to give it new life. I brought in some musicians. I went to a recording studio and just decided to capture that moment of me performing it 5 years later, raw, you know, no filter, just literally raw emotion and live musicians, including my own, you know, my own instrument.
That's amazing. And even though that was like years ago, you know, history has like a way of repeating itself.
Absolutely.
And even though it's different, you know, right now there are a lot of articles talking about like the women in Afghanistan and like how they're having to like make them cover their faces, and even the mannequins, even the female mannequins, either that you behead them or you have to cover their faces. You know, it's a very uniform kind of message, you know, because there's always some type of turmoil or hurt or some woman literally in distress, you know, in some kind of way, you know. So
yeah,
I feel like you're right. Your song is timeless, you know, because it just keeps happening. You know, there's always a woman that needs literally to be saved.
yes. And even during the pandemic, you know, we saw the killings of Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, and, you know, George Floyd. Like even in that moment, it was, you know, we had that question, like, who's gonna save us? Like, who's gonna, you know, like overturn the system that has oppressed us for so long? So it was definitely, you know, that message that, you know, stands the test of time, and literally ask that question because it's so urgent. So that's what I wanted to implement in that song, like that sense of urgency.
Yeah, yeah. I get it. Okay, so you recently performed One Wish in front of Ray J on Charlamagne the God's Hell of a Week in New York. So how was that? Because you know, right now, One Wish went from one extreme to a different extreme, especially after Ray J performed it on Versus. So
Oh yeah, that was
how was that? Because I'm sure, you know, no shade, I'm sure you probably sounded better than him.
I think he saw that too. I would say I think he saw that too in that moment. So literally, for the tapings of so for those who don't know, Charlamagne the God has a show called Hell of a Week, that is taped and aired every Thursday. And so I attended the taping, and literally during the breaks, the audience coordinator, Terrence, would like walk around and like, you know, like the DJ would be playing the vibes. Like she would be playing like Mary J. Blige, she would play Keisha Cole, like all these different songs. And literally like he would go in the audience and like choose specific people to sing, right? So I'm literally like raising my hand. I'm like, hey, like, you know, like I got this. And I forgot what song was on at that moment, like beforehand. But then I was just like, all right, just give me the mic. Just give me the mic. So he gives me the mic, and I'm literally just like, yeah. So, and I hear One Wish come on, and I'm like, oh shoot. I'm like, let me just sing it. And I was just like, said I love you first, like just going in, just going in. And lo and behold, Ray J comes out of his dressing room, and he's sitting on the couch, and I'm like kind of turning because like I see like just like a presence like just sitting down. And I'm like, okay, let me turn. And I was like, oh wow, that's really him. So I just kept going. I'm like, if I had one wish, we would be best friends. Like I would literally like sing until like looking him dead in his eyes and just like singing. But I kind of forgot the words, so I was like, let me do the ad libs instead. So I literally just sang the ad libs because I like he went into the ad libs. Like no matter what happens, like he did that with the ad libs. So I was literally doing the ad libs. If y'all know the ad libs, you know which parts I did. So I literally sang the ad libs. I think the audience was probably singing the chorus, and I was singing the ad libs to his face, and literally he's just sitting there like, wow, like just nodding. And then afterwards, everybody was like, woo, and I was just like, he was like, okay. He was like, you got that? Like, thank you.
Girl, what? Girl, what? I think I probably would have stopped right there. I would have been like, oh my God, had a floor here.
Oh my God.
Like, because that's real pressure. You standing in front of a person singing their song, and you had no clue that in the middle of you singing it, they were going to come out.
I had no clue. I was just like, okay, they're playing it. Okay, maybe he's gonna come on like afterwards, but he came in during, and I was just like, okay, like
oh
it's that
my
time.
God.
It's that time. I mean, hopefully it's preparing me for like, you know, somebody's tribute, you know. I'm singing their song in front of them, hopefully on like Black Music Honors or something. Like I would love to do that. I'll be like, this song is dedicated to you. Thank you for inspiring me, Mary J. I love you. And just go.
Hey, put it out in the universe, man, because I'm telling you, it seems like these days all you got to do is say it and it comes.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. So let's move on, girl, because we are moving. Like the time is not stopping.
Honestly.
Okay. I'm gonna skip one, but you said one thing you struggle with is being able to bask in the moments of stillness fully. So let's talk about how you are doing with that, and how did you realize you were missing that?
So right now, the way that I'm able to cope with that is just understanding that it's okay to rest. Mm-hmm. I know, especially we live right now in this technological age where it's like it's always go. You gotta post this, you gotta schedule that, you gotta, you know, there's so much that has to be done. But I noticed that like if I'm not able to pour into myself, like how can I, you know, pour out everything else for other people? So I had to give that energy back into myself and say, you know what, let me carve out this time just for me. And it's hard. It's really hard, especially when you have a ton of like a whole bunch of things on your list to do, and it's like you have to meet certain deadlines and things like that. But like when you rest, you're able to be more productive. Right. It's counterproductive if you don't rest. Like I know for there was a point in time where people would say like, oh, like don't sleep, like you sleep until you're dead. Yeah. No, if you don't sleep, you will die very soon. So it's, you know, we're flipping the script now. Like rest is revolutionary. Like Audre Lorde said, like rest is revolutionary. Like our ancestors did not get to rest. It was always, they were fighting. They were always in survival mode. Always in fighting mode. So for me, I'm reversing that. I'm unlearning that. I'm unlearning that that mindset where it's like you have to keep going all the time, because that's what creates burnout. Yeah. So in order for me to not have that burnout, like to just tell myself like it's okay to rest. Like you deserve this time for yourself. Just rest. And I'm just finding like the smaller moments and appreciating gratitude, because when you're always like on the goal all the time, you're not giving yourself that permission to be present. So you have to be able to give yourself that space to say like, I am here in this body right now. Like I am breathing, I'm living, like taking a few deep breaths and just understanding that like, you know, like there's always things that needs to get done. But if I don't take care of myself first, like I won't be able to get it done like at all. So just remembering to give myself like that permission to be still and to be present and to not always think so much about the next thing, but just
Mm-hmm.
embracing what is.
Yes. Yes. I can appreciate the flip of the culture because, when I was coming up, it was literally every day I'm hustling. Like I was all about, and now everybody's into self care, just in time for me to turn 40 because I'm getting old.
Oh wow, but you look amazing. Yes.
Yes, girl, the big 39. I will be 40 this year at the end of the year. So,
That's
okay. So, what is coming up for you? What is coming up for Lynda Star?
What is coming up for me? So in Q1, so in this quarter, I'll be releasing a new EP called The Unlearning. So just is inspired by all the habits that I've been able to unlearn, especially going to therapy and like doing that work to really ask myself those questions and really shift my mindset when it comes to certain things, when it comes to love and relationships, when it comes to my own mental health, setting healthy boundaries and, prioritizing. So that's going to be like the theme of the next EP. So I'm going to be working on releasing a single real soon. So you guys look out for that. I know that especially with unlearning, I know we don't give ourselves enough time like to incorporate like self-care practices, and definitely one of the things I've been able to do is journal. So journaling is one of the ways that I've been able to like unlearn like, not always being like on the go all the time, but also like cooking and like working out has allowed me to really be present. So yeah, you guys are going to get all of that, all of those, feelings and good vibes in the new EP.
Good. We'll be looking for it. So to close out, because I really enjoyed this, and I really am glad that I got a chance to talk to you. Look, the interview went so well that I had to skip some questions, girl. So we did good.
Oh
wow. So I would like for you to reflect on your view on your way to the top. Most of the time, people do not really want to speak about their journey. All we see is the glitz and glamour on Instagram. We don't really see the hard work, the struggle, the sweat, the blood, and the tears. It's like people are ashamed of it and they hide it. I'm not trying to glorify it, but I would like for you to reflect on your view on your way to where you are now, like how you felt, how you got through certain things before we get out of here.
All right. So the way that I was able to get through things like on the way up, I would still consider myself like still on the way up because I still got some ways to go, but I would definitely say like my faith has carried me through a lot of my tribulations. I told myself that like even just I would compare it to like climbing like Mount Kilimanjaro, right? I see this view, like I see everything, like all the beauty around me. And I take those moments to just like stop and just like be grateful for those moments and be grateful for, those obstacles that I endured, like even on the way up. Even there were people that I thought that I would see on the way to the top. And, it was kind of like I was holding on and like grabbing and like it was like that rock that you thought you could hold on to. And all of a sudden it just like broke down. But it's like I had to continue like climbing forward. So metaphorically, it's like those people just like fell off, but I had to still keep going. I couldn't, I had to grieve that for a moment, but just keep climbing. So I'm just embracing the process. Especially with social media, all we see is the highlight reel. All we see is the beauty and the glitz and glamour, but it's literally those unseen moments that really like define us and shape us and make us who we are. And I've embraced those moments, those tough times, those failures, because and even though it's a failure, like it's okay to fail. That's also what I had to unlearn too. Like it's okay to fail because you learn from it and you grow from it. And it's like on your way up, like you're gonna have failures. You're gonna do things a specific way, but then realize like what you could have done differently. but just learn from it and grow and continue climbing and continue prospering, and also lifting up others as you climb, and not just like leaving them out with the way, you know, like especially as women, as Black women, we have to continue uplifting each other and supporting one another, and, you know, just creating a safe space for us and just having that sense of community.
Yep. Just don't quit. That's pretty much the gist of everything, you know, just don't quit.
Yeah, and keep moving forward. Just keep moving forward. Keep your eyes on God and just continue praying. Keep your faith, like, first and foremost. Like, no matter what happens, like, let your faith be your foundation.
Yep, I agree. All right, Miss Lynda, I'm going to get you out of here. I really, really enjoyed you. So tell everybody how they can find you, how they can follow you, and then I'm going to get you out of here.
All right. So you guys can follow me at Lynda Star Music, LYNDASTARR Music. So Star with 2 R's. And then also you can find me on SoundCloud, Lynda Star Music, Bandcamp. You can definitely support me there directly, because with streaming, you know, we don't get as much being as an artist, because it's like 0.0001% of a penny, but with Bandcamp you can support me directly. I'm also on AudioMac, so audiomac.com/Lynda Star Music. I'm on the AudioMac app as well. But you can follow me on my website, lyndastarmusic.com. And also later on, so the Essence Festival will be June 30th to July 3rd. So just keep a lookout for more updates leading up to the Essence Festival. And thank you so much for having me. And
Thanks,
just follow me. Follow me, please. Please. I'm trying to, you know, continue building a community of people who love great music, who love, you know, real R&B music, because R&B is very much alive and so.
Yes, it is. It is not dead at all. All right, Lynda. All right, so I don't know how to get you out of here. Let me get you out of here.
All right. Thank you.
I can't get you out of here. How do I get you out of here?
Oh, I think I'll thank you. Thank you for having me. Bye.
Have a good night. All right, let's see if we can get Brandee in here. Brandee, darling, where are you? Let's see. All right. Hi, Brandee. I'm well.
Hi.
Welcome to Views from SwagHer Tower. How are you? How are you? How are you? You look good.
Thank you.
Oh, I think we're going on for the same thing today. Purple.
Yes, purple. I was like, I need a top, and I was just like, I was gonna wear my Eagles jersey because we championship this weekend, so I was like, I'm in the zone. So I was like, no, I don't want to, offend anybody, but
You know what? I don't even blame you, because some people are so sensitive. Like, I haven't watched football in years. Like, it just slowly faded out of my routine. But I understand. I do.
Okay.
All right. So we're gonna go ahead and jump right in. So, where is the view from where you were sitting right now, Miss Brandee J?
Wow, the view is for me elevated action. It's all about, everyone talks about, oh, I got to do this, I want to elevate, I want to do, but it's all about, you have to combine it with action, because you can want to do something all you want to, but you have to put action and hard work into it. So for me, it's all about elevating and action and just combining the two and making it happen. And that's where, honestly, like, I've been at, because I took, probably 6 to 9 months off in 2022. For just mental health reasons, and to get myself together and to be still, to go on to what I need to be doing. So for me, if it doesn't elevate me in any type of way, and I'm not even talking about, money, I'm talking about spiritual, mental, health-wise, everything. If it's not elevating me, I don't have time for it. And that's what people and just situations. So for me, I'm all about elevating because I have so many dreams I'm going to accomplish. I don't call them goals or resolutions, it's dreams. So for me, I have so many dreams I need to accomplish this year, that I'm like, okay, it's time for some elevation.
Right. Oh, that was a good one. Elevation and action. That is actually my favorite question to ask people, because I've gotten so many different answers, and the way people actually think about the question. Because I tell people, you know, if you're not sure about how to answer the question, you know, you can look at a couple of past ones. But the way people actually dissect the question themselves and answer it, I get so many different answers, and they're always so good. Like, it makes me think about stuff too. So, introduce yourself to the SwagHer, Views From SwagHer Tower audience, and let everybody know who you are.
I am Brandee J. I'm crazy, outgoing. I'm a rule breaker. That's just who I am. I started off my journey, I would say at the age of 10, I told people when, you know, I was put on a diet and didn't realize something was wrong with my body, and then had eating disorders throughout my life. And when I got into my older years, I decided that, you know, I already knew my purpose was to advocate. I was a little girl who was, if you was a bully, I was fighting you, because I didn't want you to pick on anybody. I was always an advocate for people and to help people. And I decided to start my own media company because, you know, people were like, no one wants to see a curvy black, you know, woman on TV, or who has tattoos, who acts like me, talks like me. So I created my own company. So I have my own talk show, the Brandee J talk show on STG network. And I'm just a motivational speaker and an advocate. You know, I advocate for a lot of things. Doesn't matter if it's a great cause to me, I'm going to advocate for it. So that is who I am.
Especially the bullying part. Okay. So you speak about being an advocate. I can dig it. Like, I love that. You are a self-acceptance advocate. So what is that, and how did you get into being a self-acceptance advocate?
I think for me, it was, I feel like in life, we always try to be someone else. Always try to see what they got or what they're doing. And really social media has amplified that, because you can go on and people only post the good stuff, but they don't post the struggle or the days they want to give up or when they're crying. So for me, it's more like I'm self-acceptance. I accept Brandee at every level that I am in any part of my life. So just like I said last year, I took up time for mental health reasons. People think, you know, they don't want you to come out and say that. You know, it's something that, no, I'm honest and really real about it. Like, I was going through a lot, so I took time out. So being a self-acceptance advocate is accepting yourself at any level of your life and not being ashamed of it. Because people act like we always got to be perfect. No one is freaking perfect on this earth. And we all go through things. We all deal with life. We all struggling to get some goddamn AIDS right now.
Right.
Like, we got some real problems going on.
Right.
We want to make a cake shit.
Girl.
you know, so I just really teach women and people, accept who you are and don't be ashamed.
That's good. So you are owner of Lux Curves Magazine. Tell us about Lux Curves Magazine.
I actually let it go last year. I know it was, I've had the magazine for 8 years. We were like the #1 publication for curvy plus size women that showcase a luxury lifestyle, because you really didn't see that in the plus size community. You know, when they do luxury, they don't have a curvy woman next to it. So for me, it was like, you know, like, I like the finer things in life. I love, you know, just that. So I started Lux Curves Magazine, and then I did it for 8 years, interviewed celebrities. From the birth, when I had the magazine, the birth of that came my talk show. It was great. And then it got to a point the last couple of years that I felt like it wasn't serving me anymore. And I continued to do it. And I got to the point last year where I just said, I'm done. It's not serving me. I don't get that excitement anymore. And I just got to a point in my life that I wanted to do more for our people, more for women. And I just felt like that wasn't it. So I let it go. I would say it's crazy. I started the magazine in October of 2015, and I let it go last year in October. And it just felt, I was like, I'm good.
So do you feel like that chapter of your life is completely closed, or it opened another door for you to go through?
It opened another door for me. And I feel like at times we hold on to things thinking, oh, we got to do this. Oh, this was what but as you evolve as a person, your views on life change. Your views, everything changes. So you have to evolve with it. And I just got, like, I was talking to one of my great friends, and I told her, I said, I don't give a damn about the top beauty trends. I don't care. It's, what can I do to help this woman? What can I do someone who's going through a mental health crisis? What can I do to help them? Or if they just, need some uplifting words, or, just really, they want to, people are getting on them for how they live. Like, I just wanted to do more. So I took the time off, launched my talk, have my talk show, the Brandee J show, focus on Black excellence, highlighting Black businesses. And then I got to the point where I'm just like, okay, it's time to just really get out there and be a service to people and just help people.
Okay. That's something that I have struggled with, because before I started doing the things that I'm currently doing, I was a publicist before, and I had been a publicist for like forever. And, when people support you for so long doing certain things, and you decide that, you've outgrown something, one of the first things you think about is, these people have supported me for so long. I've done this for so long. Should I really let it go? Can I let it go? But my growth is saying that I've not necessarily like completely outgrown it, but this isn't what I need for what I'm trying to do right now. And that can be a big struggle. Like, that's a big jump.
It is a big jump, but you have to block out that noise. Believe me, I have people, Brandee, you had Rick Ross on your cover. You did this, you did that. And I said, I don't care. I got to do what's best for Brandee, because it's my peace of mind. And you can tell me what you think, but you're not doing the work. I'm doing all this work. So if it's something that doesn't serve me anymore, and I have a higher calling, which I do, which I've always knew I had, it's something that it was a stepping stone for me. I did it for 8 years. Now I'm done. Let me use that as a stepping stone and go to the next level.
Right. I definitely understand that. So, speaking of, you said you have interviewed plenty of celebrities, Rick Ross being one of them. I love Rick Ross. How has that?
Yes.
How has being a self-acceptance advocate helped with the kind of uncertainty and nervousness that comes with doing things like interviewing celebrities?
I think for me, since I've always been the type of person that, my mom said I was a daring child. Like, I was the one, you'd say me no, I'm going to do it, because that was just who I was. So for me, when I went into those interviews, I was Brandee, and I looked at them as human beings. So when you go into something and you are confident within yourself of who you are, you don't have to try to be something that I'm not. I'm not trying to be the next Oprah, the next Ellen. I'm being the first Brandee J. And anything that I have going on and anything that I'm doing. So I've always had that mentality. And one thing that has helped me, as my grandmother will always used to say, you're not cocky, you're confident. And she instilled that in me. So no matter who you are, it doesn't matter what title you have, it's how you treat people. And that is how I go through life. And that was how I was able to interview so many celebrities just as being Brandee. And they all say, you just the homegirl, you real, because I see you as a human being. And if you're rude and disrespectful, I don't care who you are. I'm not going to put you in my space. I don't care. Oh, this could be the interview that breaks me. This celeb, I don't care. If you're rude and disrespectful, I'm good on you. Move on.
I feel that, because I feel the same way too. They breathe just like me. They it's just like mine sometimes.
Exactly.
It's the same. So yeah, that's okay. So tell us about STG Network Black Excellence series that you host.
So it's a spinoff of the Brandee J show. So it's the Brandee J show presents Black Excellence on STG Network. And during the time when I came up with the idea for the show, it's, when every time, you know, they kill us, the cops. Oh, let's highlight Black businesses. Now let's support us. And I was just like, which I think a lot of us were like, why now? So I wanted something that was a show that showcased Black businesses all year round. Something special that, you know, and it's not your big Black businesses. It's the ones in your cities and the communities that people really don't talk about, or the businesses that don't have the marketing dollars to pay for a spot or anything like that. So I wanted to give them a platform that I built to showcase people, our people, and just say, okay, if you're in this city, check out this Black business, or just really being an advocate for them. So I wrapped up, we did one season, and then now we're going to be reformatting the show, because I just got to the point that I want to really just be the advocate for all businesses and small businesses, and just give them a media platform that can shed some light on what they do in their journey and how they got to where they're at.
Awesome. Okay. What would you tell your 10-year-old self?
Oh, first I would tell her, girl, start eating that honey bun. I'm just being honest.
I was not expecting that. You never expect. People never say stuff like that.
See? Besides that, I will also tell her, because that was a pivotal age for me when my father put me on a diet. And at that time, if I would have known now what I would have said, no, Daddy, I'm not doing that. That's what I would have told my 10-year-old self, because I didn't realize that moment was the moment when I thought to myself, something's wrong with Brandee, because Daddy said I got to go on this diet, but what's wrong with me? I'm, you know, like 10, you're 10, you're just, it is what it is. And, you know, I come from a family that has, you know, small waist, big butt, thick thighs. Like, it's just, and then, and mom, you know, and the genes in the family. So that moment for me, I would have said, no, Daddy, I'm not going on a diet.
It would take a lot of strength, you know, because it's different now. Kids have a little bit more leniency when they're speaking to their parents, but, you know, when I was a kid, my parents allowed me to say certain things, and I feel like I was gifted with parents that listened to me. But I know other kids that were like, you know, you can't say nothing, you know, it is what it is, you better accept this. Like, if you sneeze too hard after I tell you to do something, like, you get it. Like, you know.
And that was like also because my dad was in the military. So it was raising all girls. I'm the youngest, and it was military. It was just like very regiment. I mean, he would say, I'm not raising no punk ass girls. You know, we really couldn't cry. So it was like really strict in a lot of things. If one dish was dirty, we had to wash all the dishes. You know, it was like if he found one thing on the floor, we would come home from school and things would be dumped out, like our drawers, everything. We had to reorganize.
You're a drill sergeant?
Standard, like, but to us, we felt like he was. But I tell people, like, my dad passed 8 years ago. He was my dad, and it was something that he did the best. He did what he could with his knowledge on how to be a parent. And I feel like a lot of people in our generation, or, you know, I'm 43 years old, even though I don't like it. It is what it is. But our generation or our community, we tend to hold on to, oh, this happened to me as a child, but we're not realizing our parents didn't have all the tools. They didn't know a lot of things. So he did the best he could with what he had. And once I got to that point, I forgave my dad years ago, before he passed away. And it was something like, that was dad. Like, yeah, it was messed up, but it made me the woman who I am today.
Good. That's good. Like, because I used to be in the Army, so that's why I asked. Like, because that stuff drill sergeants used to do when we would clean up, and it wasn't up to. That's why it was so familiar. But I understand that.
Yeah.
Flashback, girl. Flashback. Okay. So now that I came back forward, what do you wish you knew before you started to become successful?
not to trust everybody. And not everyone, your family is not going to be your main supporter. And that is one thing I have to really understand and learn. And, you know, even at the time when I started, I was married, and you think like he, at the time, yeah, he was excited, but then he didn't really support me because he wasn't elevating within himself. So for me, it was something that not only my ex-husband, but just, you know, family members, you know, we think we start something, we have a journey, people are going to support us, and they're not. They're going to try to hinder you, because one thing I have to realize is I'm doing something you don't have the balls to do, which is go after your dreams, no matter what that is. And I always come from an era, you know, my mother said a closed mouth doesn't get fed. So I always just ask questions or go after what I want without even thinking about what I'm doing. Like, to me, it's more like, if I want this celebrity, I'm going to figure out how I get this person on my show. And that's how I've always been. If I want this interview, if I want to go here or go there, I just done it. And, you know, I tell people, when you start going after your dreams or evolving and living the life that you want, do not be surprised that the people who are close to you will be the people who will try to hinder you and not support
that's
you.
true. That's true. I can definitely relate. And that's one of the things that, honestly, when people start to get successful, that is one of the top things they tell everybody. The family is not going to support you, and nobody listens. And nobody listens, even me.
Yep.
Even me.
They don't. I was like, they're not. Like, even now, I don't even tell my family what I'm doing. Like, I was just featured in Women's Day magazine. Like, you can go to Barnes and Nobles, and I'm in there. And, you know, my family's like, well, wow, why didn't you tell me? I'm like, you didn't. I've been doing this. My son is 12. I started when he was 3 weeks old. Like, I've been doing this for 12, 13 years. Finally made a decision after my dreams. You haven't supported me, so why would I tell you something now?
That's true.
Yeah.
That's very true. I'm sitting over here learning, girl. I'm learning. And to answer, you know, you don't look 43. I was like, you know, I was very firm on like 28 to 30. No joke. So you look good. You look good.
I have a 21-year-old. She's going to be 22. So when I say that,
You
people
look
be
good.
like, they're like, I'm like, no, I did not have her when I was, 15 or 16. Like, I would have got knocked out. Like, no, like I had her when I was
I'm sitting here thinking I'm older than you and you older than me.
When I tell you, I have the same skin regimen I was 15, and people are like, what do you do? I said, it is Neutrogena and Olay. That is all I put on my face. That is all I use. I do this one thing my grandmother taught me, steam my face, but I steam it with, like, I boil the water and boil it with lemon and honey. And she taught me this when I was like 9, and I will steam my face probably like once a week or once every couple weeks whenever I want to, and just get everything out. And I get my facials, but I don't get them, like, I'm not on the strict schedule, but I just Neutrogena and Olay. So like I tell people, I say, you don't see me going down an Olay commercial because it works. Like, I'm telling people, like, it works.
Girl, you look good. You look good. Okay.
Thank you.
So what is coming up next for the youthful Brandee J?
I really wish, like, my partner, she's not on here because she's, like, our teams are playing each other this weekend. She's a Niner fan, I'm an Eagles fan, so she's watching all the sports stuff. But I keep telling her, I said, people always tell me I look 28 to 30, and she never believes me. She's like, you're just saying that. I'm like, I'm trying to tell you, they say this all the time. I really wish she was on here.
Well,
Like,
you will be able to send this to
That's
her once we're done, because I'm saving it. So you will finally have the proof that you need. I definitely said 28 to 30. Definitely. Was not prompt. I did not talk to you before. Have not seen you before. Very strong 28 to 30.
Thank you. Like, even my son, he's 12, he's trying to hate. I'm like, I still got it. I can still pop it, drop it. He's like, no, Mom, you can't do that.
Girl, they be hating. Your kids is your biggest haters. Your biggest.
Hey, let me live my best life. Yes, but what I have coming up, as I mentioned, I was just featured in Women's Day magazine, so that's on your stands in Barnes and Nobles right now. Please go out and get a copy. I have that. I'm in the works of starting to produce my next show. I am going to, my next season of the Brandee J show, and I will be also on Fox Soul this week on 2 shows as a guest talking about my journey and other things. And then I am finalizing everything for my Luxe Lifestyles clothing line, which I do have my influencer page, Luxe Lifestyles, which teaches women or people, period, live the life you want to live no matter what. And that's your Luxe lifestyle. It's not about, oh, let me go out and get this Gucci or this Chanel. No, it's about elevating yourself and living the life you want. And that's Luxe to you. So if it's being a good mother, you know, being a stay-at-home mom and taking care of your kids, and you are doing it at your best, and you're living your Luxe lifestyle. So that's what I have going on, and just really getting back out there since, you know, COVID, and just getting back out there doing my motivational speakings, my women empowerment event. So I have a lot of things on the horizon coming up this year, and I'm just really excited.
Good. Congratulations. So last question, gonna get you out of here. I would like for you to reflect on your view on the way to where you are, you know, because most people, just like I talked about with Lynda, and I talked about with everybody, you know, in the era that we're in, Facebook, Instagram, everybody is like on 5-second clips. And in 5 seconds, all you can see is the good stuff. Nobody talks about, you know, what they had to do to get there, or what they saw when they were there, or when they were down. Or so can you talk about your view on the way to where you are now?
Be authentic. And I say that is, you have to accept what you're going to go through. You're going to have mistakes. You're going to mess up. You're going to fail. People's going to take from you. They're going to steal your ideas. They're going to do so much. And because all that has happened to me. And you get to the point, I got to the point, I didn't say why me, I said try me. Now it's like, I tell people that, and I said, it was hard. You know, I went through a divorce. I went from, you know, living in one of the top neighborhoods out here in San Diego to having to move back in with my mom for 2 years to rebuild myself and becoming a single mother of 2 children now. And then at that point, I came out as with my sexuality, being, you know, a lesbian. So it was a journey, but I tell people, be authentic and don't be afraid of the freaking journey. You're going to cry. You're going to be upset. You're going to deal with things. I've had so much affect me. And, you know, and you have to accept the pain and turn that pain into power. And that's why I teach women, turn your pain into power. You're speaking to someone who, my first marriage, I've been married twice, was very abusive, physically, sexually, mentally abusive. And we're in 2022, in 2023, in 2021, I had to bury my ex-husband who abused me. I had to make the arrangements. I had to deal with everything with his other children and my daughter. Like, I had to have his body cremated and send it back here. So I tell people that because I never thought I'd be in a position where I had to handle the end of his life, the man who abused me, the man who tried to tear me down and do everything. And my brother said, you know, they're like, you handle it with such grace. Because I was able to just be authentic and be myself. And at the end of the day, whatever that man did, I just accepted it. I healed from it, and he deserved a great send-off. So I tell people that just be authentic and be you, and you're going to go through the pain, but don't let it kill you.
Girl, that was a big, you are a big person. You are a big person with a big heart, because, girl,
he had like his 2 other baby. Well, I'm not, you know, I always tell people that, you know, the baby mama. So I'm an ex-wife, you know, and they were like, they didn't want anything to do with it. They were like, no, we don't care. Do we get the money? Like, and I was just like, it doesn't matter that he wasn't a great father to any of our kids. He's still a human being. and he deserved to have the proper send off. And you know, it was like it was crazy because it was me and my partner, my girlfriend. You know, we were both handling this, and you know, and everyone was looking at us like, how is she not mad? Why would she be mad? Like, she got me, we good. Like, we're doing it for my daughter who just lost her father to COVID and didn't realize this was happening. You know, so, and it's something that you gotta heal from that trauma, heal from that pain, because you never know when you are going to be in a position where you have to do something like this. And I did it. And, you know, like I said, he wasn't a great person, but he deserved the proper goodbye.
Life lessons, girl. Life lessons. You gave me quite a few tonight. Because I'm about to get me some Neutrogena and some Olay, and I'm about to go steam my face over a pot, and I'm about to go reevaluate how mean I am to people, because the girl is mean.
Yes.
But it was such a pleasure. I would like for you to tell people how they can find you, how they can follow you, so I can get you out of here.
Okay, great. You can find me right here on Instagram, Brandee J Kirby. You can follow my other page, my influencer page. That's _lux_lifestyles. You type in Brandee J with 2 E's, I'll come up. And
all right,
find me
girl,
on social media.
Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. I enjoyed it so much.
Thank you. All right.
You too. Thank you.
Bye.
All right, guys. It was an eventful hour, because it took me about a 5-minute time to get on here. Always a problem, right? But I am so happy that you guys, how dare a spam call interrupt my show with like spam. Anyway, I'm so glad I had you guys on here. I can't wait to see you guys in 2 weeks. Again, Happy New Year. I hope that you guys have a great week. And yeah, enjoy yourself. Good night, y'all.